This lesson is simplify rational expression with adding and subtracting, part 1. Here we have an example with one fraction plus another fraction. Now, the rule of adding fractions, make sure the denominators are the same. Again, when you add fractions, make sure the denominator are the same. When denominator are the same, just add or subtract the top. As you can see in this example, here's the denominator, here's the other denominator. Since they are the same, we just add the top. So 2 plus 4 gives me 6. And this is our final answer. If we can simplify, then we simplify. But if not, that is our answer. Now, this example was for adding. For subtracting, it's the same thing. Make sure the denominators are the same. Once denominator are the same, then just add or subtract the top. In our situations, we're subtracting. So 2 subtract 4 gives me -2. Again, if you can simplify, simplify. If not, then that is our answer. Okay? So one more time, when we add or subtract fractions, make sure the denominators are the same. Okay? Next example, same situations. Make sure the denominator are the same. Again, make sure denominator are the same for all of the fractions. Here you have one fractions, two fractions. What if you have a third fractions or a fourth fractions? Make sure the denominators are the same. Okay? So the first fraction, since there's nothing to do, bring it straight down exactly as is. The second fractions, there's a minus here, there's a negative here, so multiply that to the second fractions. Only to the top. Do not do to the bottom. Only to the top. So negative times x squared is negative x squared. Negative times negative 5x is positive 5x. Negative times positive 9 gives me -9. Okay? And since the denominator are the same, just write it one time only. Again, denominator are the same, write it one time only. After that, combine like term just for the top only. Combine like term for the top. So here's 2x squared. This is 1 minus 1x squared. So 2 subtract 1x squared. 2x squared subtract 1x squared gives me 1x squared, positive 1x squared. Here I have 5x. There are no other x, so leave that alone. 3 subtract 9 gives me -6. Okay, so make sure you combine like terms and put them in order from biggest power down to the smallest power. Okay, so 2x squared minus 1x squared gives me positive 1x squared. There is no other x, so we'll leave that alone, the 5x. And then 3 subtract 9 gives me -6. Okay, next, if you can factor, then factor out. If not, leave them alone. So x squared plus 5x minus 6 can be factored into x minus 1, x plus 6. Again, if you can factor, then factor. If not, leave them alone. So in our situations, x squared plus 5x minus 6 can be factored into x minus 1, x plus 6. Same thing with the bottom. If I can factor, I factor. If not, leave it alone. So x squared minus 6x plus 5 is factored into x minus 1, x minus 5. Okay? Again, when you factor, this is a trinomial where I have a, b, c. This is x squared, x, and then no x. So this is my a, this is my b, this is my c. Same thing with the top. A, b, c. Factor the trinomial. Okay? And after you factor, if you can cancel anything, then cancel or cross out. If you can cross out, then cross out. If not, leave them alone. In our situation, x minus 1 can be crossed out. So these go away. And all I have left is x plus 6 and then x minus 5. So again, Be very careful. If you can factor, factor. If you can cross out, cross out. If not, that will be our answer. Again, one more time, be very careful when you add and subtract fractions. Make sure the denominator are the same. Okay? Also, be very careful with this negative in the middle. Make sure you multiply to the top only. Take this negative, multiply to the top. Okay? So be very careful adding and subtracting fractions.